Some say God is here. But yes, God is here. That is an extension of being. When we came into this world, we came from apparently nowhere, N-O-W-H-E-R, nowhere, to now here, N-O-W-H-E-R-E. It's the same play of words that says that who we are, that which we want to create in this world, that God that we are praying to get what we want in this world, is not a God that exists in the clouds. It is not a God that sits in heaven. It is not a God that is in the murti or in the temple or in the mosques or masjids. It is the God that is available and accessible right here. And when I say right here, it means the space between the thoughts. And how do you access the space between your thoughts? By one conscious Atman, breathing, by one conscious breath. And here's what I would like you to do. Whenever you have a difficult day, whenever you're having a very, very difficult day, whether it's in your relationship, or it's at work, or it's with health, and you're very troubled, you're disturbed, and you're upset, and you can't understand, you can't make sense of anything in your life, stop and take one conscious breath. I literally mean, watch yourself breathe. Observe yourself. Look at your stomach. Look and feel the air that is inflating your lung. Watch it exhale. Watch the body. Pay attention to the process of just taking one conscious breath. And you would say, Babs, that may relax me, but it doesn't take away from the problems. You know what it does? Taking one conscious breath brings your attention and your awareness into the now. Maybe not now. I would like you to try something, an experiment. And that experiment is, while you're paying attention to that one breath, try to think of something else. Impossible. You could never do it. While you're paying attention to that one conscious breath, deliberately try to think about work, or try to think about the husband or the wife or the money in the bank. Try to do it, and it is impossible. Because once you have you pay attention to that one conscious breath, it brings your attention totally into this present moment. And that is the trick in life. If you would like to create anything in this world, anything that you want in this world, you need to start with bringing your attention and your awareness into this present moment. When you start doing that, you would start automatically seeing. It will be almost as though a stage where thoughts come and go. And then the time that you pay attention to the breath, you will automatically in time start watching. You will say, wait now, that thought coming again about work. That space, that process of looking at the next thought, that is called accessing the gap between thoughts. That accessing, that conscious awareness of the space between your thoughts, that is the secret of how we should go about creating whatever we want in this world. There are two things there's a beautiful book that I would encourage all of you to read. It is a book called A New Earth. For those of you who are a fan of Oprah, she would tell you this is one of her books that she pays a lot of attention to. It's called A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. And he talks about there are two things that are equivalent to the highest state of meditation, what swamis and yogis and saints and sages achieve. And the two states are, one, coming fully present or fully aware in the present moment, and the second is stop thinking without losing consciousness. You would say, Babs, if I faint away, I lose consciousness. That's meditation. No. It is losing, or rather stop thinking, but still having consciousness. And how do you do that? It is by bringing your awareness and your attention in the present moment. And the technique is, watch your breathing. Stop and observe yourself breathing. And all of a sudden, the difficult days, the difficult, stressful moments, all these things will be put into perspective as you will start looking, being the observer of the thoughts, the experiencer of the emotions, and life will bring everything at your feet. How do you use this? Baldev asked, I would like to create this for myself. The minute that you find the space between your thoughts, silently, the first thought that comes, silently plant the thought of whatever you want immediately after you've found that gap. Plant the thought immediately after you found the gap, and whatever you want, don't tell anyone else. Keep it to yourself, and this universe will offer itself to you. It will come kissing your feet, waiting to be unmasked. I would like to close my very different sermon this morning with another story. And it is a story about another king. And it comes from this very sad book. And the story goes like this. According to an ancient Sufi story, Sufism is another way of life in the Middle East. And they give messages not through religion and text, but by storytelling. There lived a king in some Middle Eastern land who was continuously torn between happiness and despondency. That king sounds like many of us. We enjoy life, we get very happy and ecstatic, and with a change of experience or situation, we become sorrowful, we become sad, we become despondent. And the king was getting fed up. He was getting tired of, he's growing old and there seemed to be no spiritual improvement in his life. And he decided, I wanted to make a difference. I had enough of this life like this. So he called someone in his kingdom who was supposed to be an enlightened person, maybe Zen. And the guy came and he said, "Oh, enlightened sir, I want you to teach me. Give me something. Give me something that will cause me to be someone who is balanced, who lives a life that is one of wisdom, who doesn't get caught in all these inequities in life." And the realized man turned to the king and said, "King," and the king said, "Whatever it costs, I will pay. Money is not a problem. Whatever it is, I will pay for that gift of finding peace and happiness and contentment and balance in my life." So the realized man said, "Sir, I have what it takes, but it will cost you more than your kingdom and all your wealth. But because it's that expensive, I will give it to you for free." And the man left. And a couple of weeks later, the man came back to the king with a box in his hand, and he offered the box to the king. He said, "O Raja, here is the secret that I'm giving to you. This is my gift to you, O king, but you must accept it on the condition that you will use it. That's why it's free." When the king opened the box, he saw a ring, a very simple little ring, no diamonds, just a simple little ring. And there was an engraving on that ring with the words, "This too will pass." The words on the ring were, "This too will pass." He said to the king, whenever there are life experiences for you, before you judge them as good or bad, I want you to touch this ring and read the inscription, "This too will pass." The things that create happiness for us. Sometimes we think only the difficult times when we have problems and we think this too will pass will help us. No. It is a reminder that even when we're celebrating and we're having good times and laughter and joy and celebration, touch the ring, he says, before, and remember, this too will pass. Because that which we celebrate as ecstasy and joy and laughter is no different from sorrow and pain and misery and despondency. And that misery and that happiness is in the thought, because that too will pass.